Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable, the examiners of this final examination, Mr. Mislai MP. First of all, let thanks to God who has given us the mercy and blessing till I can present my seminar proposal today. And secondly, peace be upon to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has brought us from the darkness life to the lightness life, till we can discriminate between right, correct, and incorrect. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gustia Putri. I am an English Literature Department student of 6A. Here I am going to talk to you about my seminar proposal entitled Analysis of the Antagonist Character in the Harry Potter novel The Deathly Hallows Part 1. As you can see in first slide, Chapter 1, Introduction, there is a background of research. This research based on Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows novel by J.K. Rowling, where researchers focus on the antagonist character of Professor Snape, who actually has a good personality, but because he has a hidden grudge that makes him be antagonist character. So in this research talking about an analysis of antagonist character in Harry Potter novel. Next slide. Formulation of problems. First, how the characterization of characters are generally described in Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. And second, how the antagonist characterization are described in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And in the next slide, purpose of research. First, to find out how the factors that influence the antagonist characters in Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows novel. And second, to find out how the antagonist characterization are described in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And limitation of this research. The writer limits the research to be focused on the characterization of two main characters in Harry Potter novel, that the antagonist characterization. And then in next slide, chapter 2, theoretical framework. There is an approach of the problems. The writer applies the psychological approach in this study. The purpose is simply and solely to find out the psychological problems of the antagonist character. This approach attempts to work on literature though the analysis of the antagonist character based on the development of conflict. And next slide, related theory. Related theory in this research, there are theory of novel, element of fiction, characters, and characterization. And in next slide, review on previous research. The researcher found that these are related to the study entitled An Analysis of Characterization of the Character in Rowling's Harry Potter novel. A case study, the student at English Department of Pasundan University of Bandung in academic years 2015 by Muhammad Putra Wibowo. And next slide, chapter 3, research methodology. There is a research design that for this research, the writer used a qualitative and descriptive approach as the method. And B, source of data. The data in this research is novel, where has an intrinsic element, which is one of the characterization that research want to search. And in next slide, chapter 3, research methodology, about technique of data collecting. There's first reading the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows novel. selecting the characters that will be analyzed, and understanding and interpreting the data, collecting the description of characterization, selecting and categorizing the data to be analyzed, and last, analyzing the data. In the last slide, there is the technique of analyzing the data. Firstly, determine to main character in the story which will be analyzed. And secondly, the writer generally determine any possible characterization of the selected characters by analyzing the description in the narration or dialogues from the novel. After that, the writer categorizes the data into the antagonist characterization according to the previous general description. Okay, that's all from me about my presentation, and thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.